The gift you received was pain, and without pain, you cannot testify. And your road is to testify. You just haven't found the right path. Whenever you get an opportunity and you're in the balance, you're like, should I do it? Should I not do it? If it's completely wrong, don't do it because it costs you some time.
The stuff that you think is going to make you happy, your business or houses or doors, and at the end of the day, that's not what makes you happy, man. Tell me who you are. Tell me how you got started. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, the story is not new. I mean, there's been quite a few folks who I've actually shared this with. I didn't talk about it for a long time about my past, because it was nobody's business. And then, of course, in the early 2000s and in the early 2000s and part of the like 12, 13, 14, 15, you know, there was still, I think there was still a stigma on individuals who had troubles in the past, and I was in this world of real estate where it's a professional world. At least when I started, it was more of a professional. What I mean by professional, it wasn't a lot of young guns and a lot of kind of like hip hop type feeling
Mm-hmm.
and Lambos. It was just very professional, And so I didn't talk about it. I didn't think it was anybody's business. I judge people based on their character, not on their, and what they do. And so I wanted to make my own way. And that's what I did. I became better than anybody I knew when it came to doing mortgages in the early 2000s. So I couldn't originate, but I could manage. And then I did graduate from University of Texas, San Antonio with a business and finance degree. When all the you know, everything about me said that would never happen because, I had done time, 8 years, as you know, and but I did it, and it was just something that I had to prove to myself, and I wanted to when I was in a room with folks, I wanted them to know that I wasn't an ignorant person, that they were dealing with somebody who had took the time to be a learned individual. So I've been around a lot of good people, and you know, I've always been able to give people respect,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
give respect. So,
Yep.
and then of course I took a big hit in 2008, like everybody else. Same dance. Everybody had the same story, pretty much. And
Yep.
and then a few years later, I started a company called HBHS, and from rags to riches, I guess you could say. And we just, me and my ex-partner, we just really hustled, and we learned a lot of different strategies, so which I knew a lot of them already, and it just went from realty to flipping to wholesaling to subject to creative financing and then we just had a bunch of people working for us, and it just came out of nowhere, man. I think we were as surprised as anybody else would be, that we had so many people just engaged with us. And I mean, from 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, I mean, even 22, 23. I mean, at any given time in our office, 30, 40 people, 50 people, just,
Wow. God.
it was a
Managing 50
monster.
people, that's a lot.
It was a monster, man. I'm not saying
That's
they
a
all worked
monster.
for us, but a lot of the folks, we kept the staff about 20 at all times, but a lot of these folks worked with us in in partnerships, JVs, and just proximity. And it all came to an end in January 2024. It was kind of bittersweet. I've gotten over it. It's kind of hard. It's like a divorce, man. You go through such a
Yes.
long time, and you try to figure out like what
Mhm.
happened, like
Mhm.
what did I do, what went wrong, or what did they do, or and it's easy to cast stones because maybe you don't want to admit to like what maybe some of the things you could have done better.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I took about a year away from everybody. I kind of I I blocked it. I have a pretty good social media following, but I ended up blocking everybody. I just didn't want to hear the noise. And I got really fortunate. Some guys approached me about creating an AI, which we're fixing to launch here. Finally, it's been a lot of setbacks because so much stuff's changing. We're fixing to launch it, and I got really lucky, and I said yes. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but it's a really good system. It's I think it's going to, I think once it takes hold, it'll be a system that people will be like, hey, I want that. It's in English and Spanish. It basically levels up the playing field for anybody. Imagine yourself when you first started, you had so many questions. And what AI has been able to do for everybody today is answer a lot of those questions. But
Yeah.
RE, which is specific to real estate, it's a custom system. So it's not like a white label. It's not ChatGPT like a lot of folks are using. They say
Mhm.
they didn't really build one. It's very specific to real estate in that you could ask it a real estate question, it'll give you an answer, and then of course it gets data, which none of the GPTs will do. So
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
we're
Crazy,
very very
bro.
excited about that, and I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe I don't have to do real estate till I'm 70, like a lot of the. If you look at all the old heads, much respect to
Uh,
them, I get it, man. But I've been to some of these events where some of these older guys are there, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, wait a minute, you're how old? You're 75, and you're still mentoring, and
mm-hmm.
you're still doing deals. Like, what the fuck,
Right. For
Like, I don't
sure.
want to fucking do that shit, man.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep. Yep.
I don't mind speaking or consulting, but goddamn,
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Time
I
to
don't want to be
retire.
I don't want to be flipping a property at 17 years old or fucking mentoring motherfuckers.
Yep. Yep. Hey, same, bro. Absolutely. And you've spent some money, some serious money developing this program.
Yeah, it cost me a lot of my liquid capital, but I believe in it, and I know that it's gonna look, man. Let me put it this way. I'll put it this way. We expect to get thousands of people on it, but if I only got 200 people on it, I could live the rest of my life and just because I'm not trying to. The problem is in this business what people don't realize, and this was very very big during the years of 18, 19, 20. Very, very big, right before the COVID. This is a big thing that I noticed in the industry. 'Cause I've been around for a long time. I've seen people go up, I've seen people go down, I've seen people hit the pinnacle and they were on top of the world and they were the shit, and all of a sudden they crashed down.
Hey, yep. Long
Um,
way down from the top.
because you're only one fucking lawsuit away from them taking it all away from you. And what during those years, man, there was a big hype push, man. Everybody wanted the Lambos. They were fucking faking, flying around in jets. They're getting to, let's all meet up in Houston, and
New slowly.
we'll all put $2,000, and we'll take a jet to Dallas. You know, like, what the fuck, and it was just a big hype thing. And you know what I realized, man, because I had lost everything in 2008. So I've never been a flamboyant type of dude. I mean, I have a few
Mhm.
Rolexes and some nice shoes and stuff and a nice belt, but I don't really like I don't need all the Gucci stuff and all that shit. That's not me, right? I
Yep.
had lost everything in 2008 and about $3.2 million I had lost, so I knew what it was to lose already. And then when I was young, I was very, very young and I was making a lot of money, not the right way, but making a lot of money. And I had lost all that money also because I got in trouble. So I had lost a few times in my life, and I've had real nice things, and I understand how easy it is to lose them, and so they were really not important to me. And during those years, what I saw was just a lot of hype, man, and
Mhm. Mhm.
everybody wanted to outdo each other. And circling back to what I was telling you, man, if this beautiful platform that we created, if it just let's just say it turns out to be the worst, best platform in the world, and it just gets me a few, couple hundred people, I'm gonna be happy, man. I'm gonna be making good money. I'll never have to work again, and I'm gonna be good. But we expect thousands of people are gonna use it, and we're gonna be good. And the thing about me is that even if even if it was just minute, even if it was just minute, I will be okay because I don't really care to compete with the guys that are renting the Lambos and all that shit. Give me a second. Let me close this door real quick.
Oh, you're good. You're good, brother. Wild.
So, like, so what I
Man,
was saying is, I really
you're
don't care about that stuff, and
mm,
like I have a portfolio right now with my ex-partner, and he takes care of it. I don't. I mean, what do you need? It doesn't. I don't really fucking care. Like, okay, you take care of it. You want to take care of it, and I bless him. He's a good guy. And I was mad with him for a while, but he's a good guy. He's a good leader, and I'm really happy for it. He's having good success. And but I definitely don't want to be one of these guys, man. That's 72, 75 years old and still fucking hustling, man.
Mhm. I was
I
talking to
know.
this the other day. He literally, and he's made some money. He owns a bunch of mobile home parks. He was a builder, a roofer. I mean, got millions in the bank, right? But he was telling me that he's like, man, I was miserable, hated my life. And now he's pretty much using his money, helping people, like get pretty much everything he's making, he's, using it for a better thing. But it really struck to me because this dude had everything: house, cars, families taken care of, this and that. And he said he was miserable. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to get caught in that rat race and the stuff that you think is going to make you happy, or business or houses or doors. And, at the end of the day, that's not what makes you happy, man. So no, I can get behind that. Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I had to take stock of myself, man. And I remember a letter that I wrote to the Pro Board back in 19, and I think it was the year 2020, year 2001. I was there because people always say they're at the wrong place at the wrong time. I always say you're at the right place at the right time, because if you can't admit that, that means you can't admit to the to the decisions that you. If you say I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, then what you're saying is you're not really admitting to the fact that you were making
Yeah.
bad decisions.
Yeah. No accountability for sure.
Yeah, man, and you can't move forward without accountability, and so it's painful to admit those things, because you're like, man. But I remember writing this thing, and I said, hey, it was very short. It was like a paragraph, and I was like, I've taken stock of my life. I've educated myself. I got 4 degrees while I was in here, and I realized that education is the cure for ignorance, and I was ignorant.
Wow.
And I take
That's powerful, bro. Powerful testimony right there.
Yeah, and I remember telling them, I said, and I take responsibility for being at the right place at the right time, because without that, I wouldn't be able to take accountability. I wouldn't be able to take accountability for my actions. And I was really surprised, man. They fucking boom, you're out, And I was like,
That's
hey,
all it took, huh?
and when I got out, they were like, so I was real fortunate. I got to meet with someone, and one of them told me, well, no one ever finishes out there. No one ever does. And I said, well, I'll prove you wrong. And I did. I went to school and I got my degree, my bachelor's. I didn't double major, a minor, I business and then minor in finance. And I'm not gonna say that any of that has helped me personally, like the stuff that I've learned. But what I will tell you is this: it's for anybody that's listening. If you're gonna show this to anyone, is this: there's a lot of hype right now all over the internet, all type of hustles, all type of shit, man. And if you're a good content creator, great for it. If you're good on OnlyFans, go do your thing, man. What I say, man, is this: nothing beats discipline like this.
Amen, bro. Hard work.
Yeah. And speaking about that, this is the first time I'm gonna say it here. I had when I met my wife, I was real thin. I've been married for, well, I think 23 years now, and the first 12 years I was fine, and then I got real fat. I don't know. I lost all my money in 2010, and I don't know, man. I just got real fat, and I just let myself go. I was really big, and over the years I've been dropping, but I'm still really heavy. And here is July 2nd. Me and my wife came to a crossroads, and this is recently, and she's like, "Man, when?" And she wanted to make time for God. And I have been talking about it, and I've never bowed down to. I've never bowed down. I'm not saying I cursed God, but I felt a certain way about being locked up for 8 years,
Oh yeah, I've been angry at God many times, brother.
and I was like, I'm gonna make it in spite of, you can't stop me, man. And my wife's like,
With or without you.
and so, and I might have to change this. I wanted to do it. I'm still gonna try, but so today I'm on day 26 of a fast, and
Wow,
it's
bro.
yeah, and so it's been 26 days because I decided that I'm going to, I don't know what the right terminology is 'cause I'm not a learned individual when it comes to, to following the Lord and stuff.
Mhm.
But I decided that I'm gonna take a knee, man. I'm gonna bow down and I'm gonna submit and I'm gonna bring something. I don't know if that means anything, but I'm not just coming with words. I'm gonna submit.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I'm serious, and so we're doing this journey together.
Wow. How you feeling? How's it been? Been pretty difficult?
Well, yesterday got really bad. So I was very, very strong until yesterday. Um, and I guess I overexerted myself and I got my blood pressure for the first time went down to like 70, 71.
Oh, wow, dang.
And so yeah, so I still feeling it today. So we had a we had a discussion and she's like, Charles, you need to start eating. God's gonna understand.
Mhm.
So I have to make a decision today. Because I am feeling really bad today. Today it really hit me. It finally hit. Like I was feeling good until the day before, but today,
That's a long time no food, bro.
26 days, man. And
That's crazy.
but I want to I want to come with the receipts, man. And
That
and I
that
want
is
I want
wild, bro. I can't imagine. I couldn't even I had a hard time not eating cereal before bed last night and I lost and ate cereal before bed. So I can't imagine 26 days. That's incredible. I would love to do it. I've talked to people and I think it would be pretty cool to do that.
well, I mean, I want to try to hit 30, and then I think baby Jesus will understand, and
Yep, yep,
but I will
yep.
tell you that I got up until about 2010. My whole life, I always watched what I eat. I could count the burgers that I ate. I could count the pizzas. I was always in shape. But I decided no more cokes, no more candies, no more processed sugars. I'm going to trim down, and
Yep, yep.
I'm going to do it because I know that I'm here to serve, and that's what I want to do. I've been serving, but now I want to
Amen,
serve with
brother.
a higher power. So
Amen. I love it. I'll be praying for you on that, bro.
thank you, man. Thank you. It's
Yeah,
important
yeah.
to me.
That's
And
awesome. That is amazing. I'm proud of you for that. That I'm sure that wasn't easy.
I was embarrassed, man, to ever come on and say stuff like this, and I would watch people say it, and I was like, wow, that was real inspiring, and then we went to church here this past, not the Sunday, but the Sunday before, and there was a young man there, and he was preaching, and he's a pastor here in San Antonio at one of the churches, and I was watching this kid, and I was like, wow, like there was something about him, like there's just something completely different about this man. You just talking, and he's like he had this thing in him, and I can't explain it, and I was like, man, I want that.
Amen, brother. Amen. God, I don't talk about my past much, but I came from addiction background to where I was in a pretty dark place there for a while and ran with some rough people. And I mean, I should have been dead multiple times over. But it was God. It was God who pulled me out of it and saved me. And ever since, I try to give him the glory. I'm not the most, religious or like, I can be, I have my times, don't get me wrong, but I do try to give the glory to God and he's delivered every single time, man. Every time I need him, uh, he's got me through some dark times, but he's blessed me, my family, my kids, my career and just, guiding my life there. So I can appreciate that. Yeah, fashion, that's wild, man. I love it. That's cool. It gets me fired up.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'll tell you something, man. You know Robert Allen.
Yeah.
So have you ever met him?
I've never met him, no, but I've heard of him.
So I know him, he's a good man, we've had deep discussions, and I met him through another friend of mine. So I've been lucky to have like some really good conversations with him. And when my company split, and he knows my story, he knows my whole story because he was asking one time who wants to write a book, and I wrote this thing. I said, I think I qualify. And he was like, God, man, you got a real story. You didn't make this up. It's real, right? It's a story of he actually gave me, 'cause I'm writing a book. He actually gave me the name to my book. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. I'm writing one. And I'll tell you the book first. So he told me we're talking. He goes, hey, when are you going to sign up so I can mentor you on this book? And I said, well, I'm still going through it, and I'll get back to you. He goes, well, I came up with a title for your book. And I was like, okay, what is it? He goes, it's called On the Other Side. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. I like that. Okay, I checked that. So when I went to speak to him in February of 2024, I was doing an event in Houston, and he was there, and he called me to the side. He said, what happened? So I started to tell him, and I was pretty down, about it, and he looked at me, he smiled, he said, Charles, why are you upset? Why are you feeling down? He goes, you should thank those who have made decisions to move on with their lives, and bless them, and understand one thing: they gave you a gift. And I was thinking to myself, a gift? What the fuck? This don't feel like a this don't feel like a gift. You know what I'm saying? It feels like shit's falling
Sure.
apart, man. And
Uh-huh.
he's like, no, you don't understand. He goes, you have so much to share with folks. He goes, and the gift you received was pain. And without pain, you cannot testify. And your road is to testify.
Yep.
You just haven't found the right path, and you need to find the path. And then this about here on July 2nd, when this thing happened, when me and my wife were at a crossroads, I said, I don't know, it just came out of nowhere. And I just like, I think I know the path. And so my job is going to be to do Wholesaling Live, launch REI Labs, and with God's help, finally testify that you can come from nothing, man, go all the way to the bottom, man. And if you really, really, really decide, no matter, let's put this into context. Even if somebody had a life sentence, right? You can decide in a 6x9 cell how you're going to end this life. If you can end this life in a 6x9 cell, fuck it. Or you can end this life,
Yep.
on a clear conscience, on a clear mind, or
Mhm.
trying to reach out to other folks, you can decide to do stuff. In my path, I'm fortunate that all whatever hard times I've been through, I've been fortunate that God gave me the strength to overcome. And now my journey, very, very soon, is going to be what I know I've been called to do, which is to testify, to
Love it. Yeah.
bring people out of the shadow, man.
Well, think how many people. I mean, and that's what my pastor told me too. He's like, man, your testimony, it can mean so much more, especially people who have been there too. You know what I'm saying? Versus somebody who's had a good, comfortable life, and it hadn't really. But I mean, come from the depths, to rise up, and not just okay, you didn't get in trouble again, but you took it further. You built a company. You built a machine. You keep going. You inspire people. You know what I'm saying? And so I mean, that's a powerful testimony, brother. I encourage you to get it out there and share it with people. Hey, you never know how many people's lives you can change. And that's the most important thing there is right there.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the path of helping people, but I think that's my journey, man. We're gonna do Wholesaling Live. We're
I
gonna
love it. Let's talk about wholesaling live. I'm excited. I'm gonna get some people from the Panhandle, put Amarillo on the map this year.
Wow, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic because most folks in Texas, when they think about real estate, when they think about when they think about doing deals and stuff, it's usually the same culprits: Houston, Fort Worth, San Antonio, uh,
Dallas.
Dallas,
Yep.
Austin.
Yep.
and so
The triangle. Yep.
people are sleeping on the
Exactly,
Panhandle.
bro. Come on. Don't sleep on the panhandle, man. We're a tough people.
Well, they're sleeping on the valleys. A lot of deals going on the valley.
Yeah,
They're, sleep,
absolutely.
they're sleeping in West Texas,
Yep,
And what
yep.
people don't really realize is that these areas are really they're doing deals, and
Mhm, mhm.
it would be really really great to have the Panhandle represented, and I would be very honored. I haven't been to Amarillo since 1992. It's a long time, right?
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Well, you're not missing much, honestly. Emerald's a good place, but it's there's not a whole lot to do here. But great people and the deals, that's it's there definitely some deals to be had.
So how do we get your folks down to San Antonio, man, to come have a
Let's
good time?
do it, dude. I think I'm gonna put this podcast out there. I'm gonna blast it out on my page. My page has been growing like crazy. It was Travis, who encouraged me to go and do that. But I mean, I think we're at 1,200 people now. So it grows about 100 every 10 days. So at this rate, I'm gonna be posting wholesaling live. I'm going myself. You know what I'm saying? I already got tickets. Um, and yeah, we'll get it out there. I'm gonna
Well,
put it out there that I'm going. Try to get a good group coming down.
I'll get you I'll get you a flyer. What we could do is this. I don't know, um, if you got someone you want to bless or collect on or whatever, was what you spent, or we could talk about a reimburse or something. I'll get you a promo code for all the folks up there in Amarillo. Just
I
tell me
like
what,
it.
what code you want it to be.
Okay.
We'll get you a real good discount, and we'll get some folks from the Panhandle down to the great city of San Antonio, Texas. The
Yeah.
Alamo City.
Yeah, buddy.
And we're gonna have a good time, man. There's gonna be a lot of good people there. Some of the best speakers, of course, the nation will be there. But I think what's really gonna be so awesome, not only the speakers, but there's I believe there's 7 companies this year that are
Wow.
gonna be flooding the entire event with leads, really good
Lee.
PPC leads.
Yep. Yep.
Eric Klein's talking about putting thousands of leads into the thing. So
Oh my god.
that's unheard of because ain't
Yeah,
nobody can
bro.
get to 1,000 leads. I mean,
Uh-huh.
even during the sessions, even somebody that's really really quick maybe can do 30 or 40. So people at both wholesale live events, many people left wholesale live with thousands of leads, thousands. And so throughout the years, of course, I've heard people say, I closed some of those deals after wholesale live, and they got to take all that data. So folks are going to benefit not only from seeing some of the most upgraded systems like PropStream just acquired some of Batch's capabilities,
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
dialer stuff. So they're coming. So you're going to get to see some AI products, and so folks who come to this event are going to be able to really see what's coming next. I think it's not just, you know, there's other events that are similar to Wholesale Live and that put on boot camps. This is not a boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
This is we're coming here to do something and to learn something and to network and engage. And so
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm excited to get in room with some of the bigger investors and just the thinkers, and it elevates you being around people who are doing big things. So that's what I'm excited to kind of see it and get in there and
yeah. I mean, you know Logan Fulmer, right?
uh-huh.
He's gonna be there, and that dude is that dude's gonna. I suspect that Logan will very very soon shake up the entire industry with. I mean, I do some of that stuff myself, but
Yeah.
he took this type of unwanted, uninterested, difficult to do, no one cares about, and he was able to create it into a business, and everybody's like waking up to it, like, what the fuck, and so I'm really proud of him, man, and I know him here for many years. He's from San Antonio. He's a really class act, and then of course you got Nick Perry. That guy's on another level. traveling the world, doing business. You know, you got Eric Klein, you got Pace Morby, you know, you got
Ace, bro, you got some big names. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't think people, and some people, listen to this podcast, maybe just getting into it, but I mean, you're a pretty big deal in the industry. You've been around a long time. And so, like, again, like I said, thank you for taking the time to be, on this podcast.
yeah, of course, man. I love it. I appreciate you. I'll end with this. Guys, we're fixing to launch. I was just lucky to be asked to be part of it, and I said yes. So whenever you get an opportunity and you're in the balance, you're like, should I do it? Should I not do it? If it's completely wrong, don't do it because it costs you some time. But if you're like, man, it's gonna cost me some money, but it could, like, if you're ever presented with an opportunity that is not gonna cause you harm, it's just gonna cause you effort, it's gonna cost you maybe a little money, it's gonna cost you maybe a little bit of your sanity, bro. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna hit, but I know one thing: don't pass up an opportunity, man, because they don't come around twice.
I think so. From what I could see, it looked good. I mean, there's AI is changing the game. So, I mean, I think you're gonna be just fine on this one. I'm pretty excited for it. So as soon as you guys get ready to start the beta, let me know. I'll sign up immediately.
Thank you. We had our first webinar this past Saturday. It went very well. I did the presentation myself, but after Wholesaling Live, I won't be doing the presentations anymore. Somebody else will. But it's going to be a great thing. REI Labs is a group of very advanced AI engineers who put together RE, and it's they're constantly adding stuff to it. So we're very close to launching. Of course, the launch is going to be at Wholesaling Live, but if we can launch folks into the system before that, that's fine. But the release date is really, really close.
That's what's up, brother. Excited.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate
All right.
I'll get that over to you. Just send me a really cool picture of yourself, make sure you're looking cool and stuff. And
I will do it, bro. I will. Well, thank you again for taking the time. And on your fast going to day 30, I'm gonna be praying for you, brother. You can do it. Hang in there.
I'm gonna try a bit. My mom was telling me it's time to eat, so I don't know.
Yeah, hey, if you need to, but don't push it. Whatever your heart feels. But that's pretty incredible. And thank you for sharing your testimony and being vulnerable, brother.